What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kiwan, and I am back with Girls Need Love Season 1, Episode 4, The Drama. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure y'all like the video so I can stay in the algorithm. Before I start, I just want to say to, is it Kasia Renee? She plays Fallon in Girls Need Love. She came down in my comments and just thanked us for enjoying and reviewing the show. So I just want to say thank you for taking your time out to come watch little old me. Okay, like, it is so much appreciated, and as long as you guys are putting it out there, I am going to continuously review this show. I think it's good. I think the storylines are good, and just being a single woman, I just enjoy us single girls just mixing and mingling. Okay, and you get to see different sides of this show. You know, like, they touch on a lot. Like this episode, they actually touched on a bunch of things. But with all of that being said, y'all, shout out to you. Thank you. It is so much appreciated. You have no idea. So yeah. So anyway, y'all, the episode picks up with everybody. You know, everybody went to the jail to await Fallon's release. And so there's Soror, Adriana. She's an attorney who helped Fallon get out. We found out that Adriana is a mom. She don't have much time for the ladies, only because she's momming and life just been lifing, as she said. She also, it seems like she chose to be a single mom because she wanted to have a baby, and I'm not mad at that. Okay, everybody, a lot of women I see are doing the whole Ebony K. Williams situation, and I'm not mad at it. But you get to see it in this story. But I see that she does not like Dante. Okay, shout out to you. Okay, which is Dante. Yeah. So I just want to say this to you, Miss Fallon. Listen. If anybody come to you and be like, "What's up, Queen Grand Rising, ma'am?" Run and run fast, okay? But we get a monologue. Well, it is. I call it a monologue, but it's Tasia speaking on her podcast, and these are things. So as she's speaking in her podcast, things are happening. But I'm just gonna read because I thought the words that she said was very profound, and these are things that is happening in real time. Like, this is what a lot of women are doing for the sake of love or a man, for approval from a man, and it's like, you don't really need all that. But let me read it to you. So she said, "It's crazy to think the extremes we ladies go through in search of love. We spent thousands of dollars on hair, nails, lashes, and makeup just to appease the male gaze, and how we sacrifice our bodies for them. BBLs because they like ass. IVF so they can be fathers. Black women all over the world are bleaching their bodies because they think it makes them more attractive to niggas. Meanwhile, these bastards," she didn't say bastard, I just want to throw that in there. "These bastards are pulling up with male pattern baldness, crusty ass feet, okay? Too much ego and not enough zinc, okay? And they have enough, and it still ain't good, okay?" She didn't add that in there. I just wanted to throw that in there for free, okay? She said all they do is manipulate, fornicate, and yes. She said all they do is manipulate and fornicate, and that is true, okay? Being a sucker for love is a no-win situation these days, and that's what it feels like, because The sanctity of marriage, the sanctity of relationships is always, we're always trying to prove, in a relationship, we're always trying to prove ourselves to them, to see how good of a woman or a mate we can be. So to then in turn become a wife and to do all of the things that they say a wife is supposed to do. Okay? I say, fuck all that shit. Okay? That's just me. But I'm going to keep my cousin down to a minimum. So while all the monologues are going on, we get 3 montages. So we see Kylie posing in the mirror because y'all know Kylie had that BBL done. And she's now healed. So she's looking at her post. I want to say, is it post body? So she's looking at her post body. So then we see Lex and Dante. They're at their IVF appointment. And it seemed like they didn't get any good news judging by their facial expressions. And so Fallon's at home, and she gets a text from broke ass Ashanti talking about, his text said, "I just got out, call me back, Queen." And then he put Queen in bold caps. Sir, goodbye, blocked. Okay, you listen, since Fallon is our residential church girl, sir, you are blessed and blocked. Okay, blessed and blocked. So the ladies are at lunch. Kylie, Fallon, Lex, and Tasia. And the restaurant is giving Fallon top tier treatment because she went viral for her review on a restaurant, and she didn't like it. She stated why she didn't like it, but she didn't like it. So now people are they're trying to come at her, and so whatever restaurant she go to, like, it seemed like they giving her top tier treatment, and I'd be like, I don't mind, bring on the mimosas, okay? So I want to point this out because I went to a brunch spot that kind of looked exactly like that. I live in Texas, and I went to a brunch spot that looked kind of mirrored a little bit. The colors was just green where I went. But on the show, they was drinking mimosas out of a glass purse. When I tell y'all, I thought that was just the cutest. Like, I think it was shaped as a purse. And I was like, okay, that's dope. I like it. So Lex tells the ladies about Michelle sharing her storing her, getting nest egg, taking money from, I forget his name again, her husband, and putting it aside. And Lex thinks she's stealing from her husband, and everybody was like, it ain't stealing, we're married. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. Okay? And so she said that's not all she do. She cheats sometimes. And that's right up Tasia. Not the cheating. She don't fool with the cheatation. But taking his money and moving it over here, she with all of that. Okay? Why be with somebody that you can't benefit off of? That's all I'm saying. Okay? If you're broke, I can't move nothing over here. Okay? I want to have my own money, but still, I can't move nothing over here. So anyway, Tasia asked Lex if she took her pregnancy test, and she said no. In a way, Lex looked like the news that she received really was not good. So Fallon tells her everything happens in time. Tasia said maybe it's a sign that the universe is giving her to leave Dante with no strings. She said maybe Dante isn't supposed to be the father of her child. And so Fallon asked Tasia, and let me touch on that because I do think timing is everything. I do think that maybe it's not, timing is everything. Timing is everything. But you can leave. This is what usually happens for some people. It may not happen for everybody, but we've seen over the years where somebody can be in something so tumultuous and so bad that they finally do themselves a service and actually leave. They leave, and somewhere down the line they find somebody else, and a life that they couldn't get over here, they end up getting it over here. And I'm not saying that's just men, just women. It happened to both men and women. I am a firm believer that God holds things for us until we leave the person that's pulling us down. Like, that's all I'm saying. So anyway, Fallon asked Tasia for VIP tickets. So in order for her to get these VIP tickets so they can head to a concert, she got to contact Reggie. Y'all know, I think Tasia low-key, high-key wanna contact Reggie. But you know, she gonna play that hard role. She always wanna be hard. So what's her name? Kylie was like, Reggie? Who is Reggie? And so Fallon was like, oh, she almost married Reggie. Reggie was somebody she used to date. Yada, yada, yada. So Fallon is just giving Kylie the tea on Tasia and Reggie's history. So then Kylie find out that I think he's the CEO of a music music company. And so she was like, oh, I love this artist, and she fanned out. So yeah, so y'all know Kylie wants a baller. Baby, my girl want a baller. Okay. So she like, okay, you gonna have to get those tickets. So anyway, where am I? I mean, I'm looking at my notes. So everybody, they all leave the brunch. And Tasia tells Fallon that her brother is the new chef. Well, he is a 5-star Michelin chef at the new restaurant that's getting ready to open. And she wants to give Fallon an exclusive. Fallon is extremely happy about that. She said that would be great with all of the things that I had going on, especially the type of week I had. So Fallon gets in her car and she addressed all of the online comments and all of the backlash that she got for the review that she gave. And she was like, I said what I said. And I was like, okay. So over at Lex and Dante's, she gets a phone call from her IVF doctor. And her IVF doctor lets her know that she has chlamydia. And she was like, well, I ain't sleep with nobody. I've been with my husband for 10 years. And she said, your husband may have contracted it and given it to you, which we know because Dante is all up in puss. Okay, all kind of puss, different kind of puss. Okay. So she asked the doctor, can you run the test again? She was like, I've ran the test. My test is good. And she said, we need to get you to the clinic so we can prescribe your meds so it won't interfere in your IVF treatments. So, of course, she's pissed, as she should be. Anyway, in the next scene, Jordan calls Tasia to do because he had availability for her lingerie, so Tasia can go do a run through with her lingerie shoot and so of course she's smitten by Jordan, but I think that was just Jordan's way of wanting to see Tasia trying to be slick. Y'all know how that goes. So Kylan is on the phone. She was talking to, I guess, a homegirl and saying her mom, told her her mom wanted money. I don't know I forgot how that went, but Kylan wants to be a rapper, but she needs a job to make some cash because don't nobody, want to be bothered with a brokey. So it was a girl who sent her an app where she can actually make money the same day. It's different jobs that you can go out and do. You go on the app and you go do the jobs and you get paid the same day, which I've never seen that before. But that sounds dope. Sorry, y'all. My bad. So we see Tasia in her photo shoot with Jordan. And again, she has such a natural body and you don't always get to see that a lot. And sometimes for me, I'm glad I'm seeing it. Even in her fashion show, you see different women, different sizes, and I really do enjoy that. And only because we look in the mirror all the time and we're not comfortable in our own skin. And so when you see other women comfortable in their skin, you kind of be like, dang, I want to be that. I want to be comfortable in my skin. But that's why I actually enjoy the show, because it centers us. So, as I stated, Tasia used to be a video vixen, and she gave it all up to be with Reggie. He broke her heart. That broke her, and that's why she's at where she's at. Jordan thinks she's giving her ex a whole lot of power just by mentioning him, and he's not even around. And so then he takes the moment to put the moves on Tasia. And I think she's smitten by him, but because of his age, I can't do it. So in the next scene, Fallon goes on a date with the guy from her church. He seemed like he was a really nice man who was very intuitive. Hold on, y'all. So Fallon admits to him that she wasn't sure about going on a date with him. And, he's something different, something that she don't usually date. And she also tells him, she's too old for the mess, and that she needs to settle for something real. So he's kind of taken aback by that, and he asks, is dating him settling to her? So she was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. But low key, if you hearing it from another angle, it sounds like that, And so he cut the date short because, and I get it. Everybody has a preference. I will feel a way if somebody said that to me, because I will feel like, are you dating me? Because, you tired of all the riffraff, so you just gonna settle with me? Yeah, no. That what it looked like. So he cut the date short, and he was like, listen, I'm not interested in being the man that you settle for. And I was like, yikes. Ugh. But I get it. I get why he did it. So then in the next scene, hold on. So as Tasia is leaving Jordan's studio, Maurice, he's the actor who was outed by Mia Minaj on Tasia's show. He wants her to take down that interview. And she was like, no, I'm not taking down the interview. So then he decided to threaten her. And it's kind of funny, because she was like, he was like, I'm not getting deals. I'm losing this and I'm losing that because of you. And she was like, no, you're losing all of these things because you like to go upside bitches' heads. Okay? She didn't say that. She just said because you like to hit bitches. Okay? I just like to put a stank on it. And so, Jordan comes out. And then he did threaten her. He threatened her. But when Jordan came out, it seemed like he had a lot more sense. You didn't even buck up to Jordan, but you tried to buck up to the woman. Hence is why that interview was up, because people need to be warned by raggedy, because like you. Okay? Anyway, the ladies are at their monthly sorority luncheon. And so Tasia shows the ladies her pictures from the photo shoot, the run-through photo shoot she had with Jordan. Lex is in a daze because of the call she got, her trying to process everything, and she did put Dante in the doghouse. Okay? So Tasia tells the ladies she need one more girl for the fashion show, and Lex volunteered to do it. So they looking at her like, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay? Because Dante ain't going for it. He ain't going for it. Okay? So, Tasia tells her no. She was like, you're not about to have Dante come after me. And she was like, well, he don't run me. And they looked at her like, girl, now I know you lying. And so she was like, and he's in a doghouse anyway. So Tasia was like, oh, so you really not doing this for me. You doing this to punish him or to piss him off. And so Tasia was like, cool. I'll let you walk in the show. No problem. So Lex was like, he don't know, what did she say? She validates herself. She validates who she was, but then she kind of questions, well, not question, but she's sad about the person she's become. She was like, I used to be, it was a prom queen in my junior and senior year in high school. I think she was the same thing 2 years in a row in college. She was top of her class in law school. I was like, wow. Top of her class in law school. Like, damn, you gave that up for Dante? And she said, but I just became a trophy wife. And you can see the sadness that's upon her. And not because she got married, because she didn't expect all of this when she married Dante. So, yeah. So, she regrets marrying Dante while hoping she stayed with Carter. She left. So Fallon is looking. At this point, Fallon is looking and her face is saying everything. And so Lex said at the time she was just thinking about her future. At the time she was with Dante, she was just thinking about her future. She was thinking about security. And she felt like Carter couldn't give her the life that she wanted. She thought she was making the right decision when she left him to marry Dante. She tells the ladies she see why they stayed single for so long. And so they're like, I beg your finest pardon. Because they was like, girl, what? So Fallon tells Lex, girl, please. And Lex asks, what was that? Fallon said, nothing. Don't even worry about it, okay? So Fallon tells Lex, you could never really understand how we feel. Lex said, what's that supposed to mean? So Fallon was like, you're light-skinned, thin, and pretty, and on God's green earth, you can have whatever you wanted. But Lex said that's not true. So Fallon was like, run it. All right, let me run it real quick. Fallon says, she tells Lex their entire friendship, she has been the pick. She's been the complexion for the selection and the size for the prize. I was like, I ain't never heard that before, but carry on. So Lex tells Fallon, don't do this. Fallon said, don't do what? Speak my truth. She tells her, you're complaining about choosing between Dante, who's $1 million football player, and Carter, who's the least of the good guys we have roaming around on this earth. Those are your struggles. Like, do you hear yourself? And so Lex tells Fallon, it's not my fault. What she say? It's not my fault I look like this. And she said, it's giving jealousy, sis. I was like, ooh. Can I just say, the things that Fallon was saying, she wasn't wrong. And I'm only saying that because lighter women are more preferred than us. A smaller, healthier sized woman is more preferred. Like, for me, I'm when I sit down, I look one way, but when I stand up, y'all can see all my pictures. I have gained a whole lot of weight. Okay, I have, but this ain't about me. I'm just saying that they're more preferred than us. So I do think that those things are true. And it's always been like that. And it is like colorism, I guess that's what they would call it. But it happens. It happens. And there are men that love a chocolate, dark, caramel skinned woman. But a lot of times, a lot of men prefer a lighter complected, or what do they call it? White, Latina, white adjacent. Okay? So, sorry, y'all. I'm sorry to kind of swerve. But anyway, Fallon tells Lex, I'm not jealous, but I just want you to acknowledge your privilege. So Lex tells her, you grew up in an upper middle class family with both parents. You the only one that grew up privileged. That's privilege. Well, okay. So just like Lex couldn't control her skin tone, Fallon can't control the family that she came from. But when we look at society and how, being chosen or being preferred, a lighter skinned woman is more preferred. So Lex tells her, don't be mad at me because I prioritize the gym over the club. That's on you. I was like, wait a minute. So the girls, they have some girls, the other sorors who, yeah, they just seem like some messy little ladies over in the corner. So they was just watching them argue. And I was like, girl, okay. So Fallon tells her, I'm not trying to fall out over whatever this is. And she was like, I'm going to let it go. So Lex tells her, I don't know how long you had that on your chest, but I'm going to let you sit with that. And she left. And I was like, ooh. And it went off. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This was good. Like, I'm not going to hold y'all. I watched each episode probably 3 times. Like, I watched it a couple weeks ago, watched it again. I think this is my 4th time. And so I didn't see all of this until today. So Sunday, I will bring y'all episode 5. Yes, I will bring y'all episode 5 on Sunday. And next week, I will have the final episode. But this episode was pretty good because they talked about us as women and how we modify ourselves for men. They talked about colorism. We're still talking about being in a relationship and just not being a priority in your relationship or being treated poorly and still in a relationship. Now, what I will say is Lex is defensive and she's gonna be defensive. So whatever you say to her, she's not receiving that well. And you still have to be mindful because she's sensitive and she has to process things. Like, she's processing everything she has going on. And so if you're going to show up and be a friend, be a friend. But, she's not trying to hear you say, she's not trying to hear the harsh reality. She know what she should be doing, but she's still going to stick and stay with her husband. Y'all know how that go. They tell you to stick and stay and be miserable. Having a piece of man is better than having no man. So I'm gonna take what I got, and whatever she said, I'm gonna take what I got, and I'm gonna do whatever. And she said something about, you understand that? No, we don't understand that. Okay, stop asking us if we understand that. Okay, so what else did we talk about? Yeah, this was yeah. And I'm glad that they had this. I'm glad Fallon was able to get this out. But I also love the fact that she was put in a mirror to Lex for her to see it. And it was also gentle. But again, Lex is in a space where she's super defensive. And it's not that she don't want to hear it. It's just she has to take a minute to process it because she is dealing with a lot. Dealing with her husband and everything that he's doing, that's a lot. The fact that she's trying to have a baby and she's not having the success in it, it makes her feel away as a woman. Like, she's feeling away as a woman. She's feeling away as a wife. I remember in the last episode, she was just wanting to know. She was asking Michelle, she was talking to her and was just wondering if she's good enough. And you are good enough. You're great enough, But I am a firm believer of, that very things and those things that you want and you need, they'll come. But you have to leave the thing that's holding you back. And not only you just leave, don't leave and go over here, but leave and start to heal. Still heal your process and get on your journey. Dante suppresses her. Dante is avoidant. Dante is a lot. And Dante wants her to be about Dante while backseating her. As long as Alexis can make him look good. She just haven't gotten to the place where, she's hurting. It hurts, and I think a part of her wants to leave. But I think she's just stuck in that rat race of a cycle. I'm married, so I probably can't leave. So anyway, I'm sorry about the rambling, y'all. That took like 4 or 5 minutes. Anyway, that's all I got. After this video, check out Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Child, they got on my nerves, okay? So, this is your girl, Kiwan, reminding you to keep showing up, keep growing, stay true to yourself, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.